You worked with some of the namespaces of the .NET framework in Lesson 6.3, but your project has namespaces of its own too. For most projects, you won't need to change the namespaces that are automatically generated, but it's useful to understand what they do and how to modify them if you need to. To begin this lesson, open the My Project sample file from your Sample Files folder. And open myclass.cs if it isn't open already. Now you're going to change the namespace of the myClass class. Find the line of code namespace my_project. This tells C# that everything inside its curly brackets is part of the my_project namespace. Whenever you create a project, a default namespace is created with the same name as the project. Because this project is called My Project, everything is placed in the automatically generated my_project namespace by default. Change the namespace line now to namespace custom classes. Now open the code behind file of calculator.aspx and add the following code to the page load event handler. myClass instance equals new myClass. Errors appear immediately, and you might have noticed that myClass was not displayed in the IntelliSense menu as you typed. This same line of code worked fine in Lesson 6.2. That was because calculator.aspx.cs shared the same namespace as the myClass class. That's the my_project namespace. Change your line of code to reference your new namespace by adding custom classes.myClass instance equals new custom classes.myClass. Now that you've told your code to look in the custom classes namespace, it can find myClass without any problems. By using namespaces, you can separate your classes into their own groups. This keeps the number of items in the IntelliSense menu manageable. Just as you did with the system.txt namespace in Lesson 6.3, you can also add using lines for your own namespaces. Add the following line of code to the using lines at the top of the page. Using custom classes. Now that you've added a using line for the custom classes namespace, you can directly access every class in that namespace. So you can remove both references to the custom classes namespace from your page load event handler. The namespaces of the .NET framework don't just have a single level, but are arranged into a hierarchy. It's very easy to create the same kind of hierarchy yourself. Return to myclass.cs and change the namespace line to namespace custom classes dot test classes. This code tells C# that the myClass class is in the test classes namespace, which is inside the custom classes namespace. Return to the code behind file of calculator.aspx, and you can see that the reference to myClass is displaying an error again. That's because myClass isn't in the root custom classes namespace anymore, so it can't be found. You can fix this by adding another using line with the code using custom classes .test classes. This fixes the error by making all of the classes in the test classes sub-namespace available to your code. You could also have accessed the myClass class by typing custom classes.testclasses.myclass. Close Visual Studio now, saving your changes if prompted. You've now completed Lesson 6.4. Work with namespaces.